Okay, so it is week 12 of college football. We're going to cover the rest of it today. Quick note, I went to a game today. I went to the homecoming game for Penn, and they lost by 3 points. Great game. I will upload that video either tomorrow or on Monday or whenever I get the chance to splice all this shit together and put it together, because I had to film most of it on my phone, and then I filmed the rest of it on my camera. Because my phone was dying and I was not going to have a dead phone for the rest of the game. To cover some games that are happening now, Kansas State's losing to Arizona State 0-24. Texas State is beating Southern Miss 44-3. That's fun. Texas A&M seemingly sucks right now. I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but they're only beating New Mexico State 24-0, which you might think is like, that's amazing. It's 53 seconds left in the second quarter. Now, normally when these games are played, the bigger team, which would be Texas A&M, would be up by at least like 50 before the end of the half, and they're not. So either Texas A&M is not doing very well, or New Mexico State's defense somehow just jumped out of nowhere and became good. And I don't think that's happened because New Mexico State is 2-7 this year. So, Purdue lost to Penn State. I want to talk about last week for that game. Purdue played Ohio State, and they made it seem like this big deal on TV. I don't know why that was the big noon kickoff thing. That was pathetic. Purdue's terrible. I don't think Purdue should ever be in a big noon kickoff thing, ever. Not because they don't deserve it, just because it's not really worth it. For the fans, the team, the people watching the movie, video, game, whatever. Ohio State beat Northwestern 31-7. Arkansas lost by 10 to Texas. I think Arkansas was up. No, they weren't. They were never up. My bad. Notre Dame continues to win. They're 9-1 and 5-1. 9-1 overall, 5-1 at home. They beat Virginia 35-14. They forced what seems to be 5 turnovers in the game. That's pretty impressive. Now, is this team actually legit this year? Who knows? Again, some people say they don't play a real schedule. I really don't know. I know they play ACC games for the most part. And I guess that could be a testament to how not good the ACC is, for Notre Dame to just coast through the entire thing and then come out on top as a single-digit team, and then come out into a postseason game and just kind of. But yeah, Alabama beat Mercer. SMU and Boston College. SMU is the darling of the college football world this year because they are new to the ACC. I don't know what conference they were in last year, but they were not in the ACC, and they are seemingly taking it over. They are 6-0 in conference and then 9-1 overall. I fully expect and I really hope to see them in the ACC title game. I don't know if this game cemented that because I didn't hear the announcer say anything about that while it was happening. But I also just did watch the highlights, and that was kind of it. And honestly, I hope they do get a playoff spot. And really honestly, I really hope that they get a playoff spot at home. Now, actually, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. They're ranked number 14 now, so a lot of teams are going to have to lose for them to even be considered. So they better hope that Wisconsin beats Oregon and some other teams lose. But Colorado, I was wrong at the beginning of the year. I didn't think that they would do so well. But seemingly they have proved me wrong and the rest of the country wrong. They are now 8-2 and 6-1 in the conference Big 12. They beat the living breaks off of Utah 49-24. Travis Hunter was not a star in the receiver game this year, or for this game. So Shedeur Sanders, however, was 340 yards for 3 touchdowns. That's pretty good. Stanford and Louisville. I watched the highlights for this game like 20 minutes ago. I remember I checked in at the game, I think second quarter or something, and I believe I saw that Louisville was up. And it was like, I was like, oh, well, Stanford's definitely going to lose this one because it's Stanford and they're not doing good this year. And Stanford decided to come alive in the second half, I should say, and they won with a walk-off field goal. So that's insane. That's not really that insane, but good for them. Louisville, definitely expected them to win that one. But this is what happens when you have a conference game on the other coast of the United States. As you know, Kentucky is in, I was going to say the southeastern part of the United States, but I don't know how true that is either. Anywho, I just say that because I'm in the Southeastern Conference for a team. And Louisville is in Kentucky, as you should hopefully know. Yeah, just, I don't know. Would they have lost if this was, like, more closer in their region? Who knows? But, you know. Clemson beat Pittsburgh, South Carolina. LaNorris Sellers. South Carolina beat Missouri. LaNorris Sellers for South Carolina, the QB. Pretty good. 21 of 30. 5 touchdowns from what I can see. So, yeah, South Carolina is great. A South Carolina versus Florida matchup would be superb. And then to my team, speaking of Florida, Florida decided to... I guess this was not a very good game. I didn't watch the game. I was busy with other things. But Florida won. They won 27-16. This was they snapped a 5-game losing streak against LSU, which to you may matter, may not matter. I don't know. LSU was kind of I don't know if they were a favorite, but they were really touted to be the team of the SEC this year, and they have fallen so far. They're now 6-4, 3-3 in conference, and Florida is 5-5. And I did watch the play where DJ Lagway he wasn't getting sacked, but he was getting rushed. And
second and short, play action, Lagway in trouble. Steps up and throws deep. It's caught.
Tulane beat Navy 35-0. Auburn beat UL Monroe. Kentucky won. Oh my goodness, so many games. South Florida, let's see. Oh, USC beat Nebraska 28-20. I think Nebraska was kind of up. No, they weren't up. Never mind. Nebraska seemed to be doing well from when I checked into the game originally. But, yeah, I really wanted them to win that one. USC's main quarterback, Miller Moss, got benched this year. So, that kind of sucks. But, yeah. Speaking of West Virginia lost 49-35 to Baylor. Baylor now has 6 wins. I thought they were horrible this year, but I guess not. So, a little backstory on West Virginia. West Virginia had a coach last year and this year, same guy. And the year before that. So, the year before last year, he was really bad. They were really bad, and they should have fired him. They didn't. Then last year, they did. They kept him, and they kept losing. And then they started to win, and it was pretty evident from everybody who was watching the team over the time that the coach has the team that they're not very good. But because he had one good year, they kept him, and so now West Virginia is kind of in this bubble of keeping the guy or kicking the guy. I don't know what the contract stuff looks like for this dude. I also don't care, but. I'd imagine if they don't make a bowl game, he's out by the end of the year. And who would the coach be for West Virginia? I'd imagine it would be someone from either SMU or UNLV. I think those would be the 2 biggest chases for West VU. And then to talk about things that I also don't really am unsure about. Kennesaw State fired their head coach who's been there for, I think, 10 years. Apparently that's drama related. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. But they lost today to Sam Houston State. If you don't know, Sam Houston State last year was horrible. I'm pretty sure they were horrible. Let's check if they were horrible last year. I'm about 99.9% sure they were terrible last year. How do I change the year? Oh my goodness. I don't know how to do that. Schedule. Here we go. Yes. 2023. Yep, they were bad last year. They were god-awful. They won 3 games last year, and then this year they've turned it around from winning 3 games to now winning 8 games. So, good on them. They beat Louisiana Tech 9-3, so that's pretty fantastical. But yeah, good on the Sam Houston Bearcats, whatever the hell that is. And hopefully they will continue to win and will continue to be a team that is good in the foreseeable future, because Texas has lots and lots of football teams, and not all of them are good. Example, Rice. Okay, so games that are still happening right now and going on. Georgia is playing Tennessee. Georgia's currently losing by 3, 17-14, and they're I don't know where. Oh, they're on the Tennessee's 28-yard line with 26 seconds to go in the first half. Oregon is losing to Wisconsin by 4, 10-6. I really hope Wisconsin wins just because Oregon is number one. And I don't think Wisconsin's beaten a number one team in almost like 10, 15 years. Because I think the last number one team they beat was Ohio State. And that was like 2012 or 11, maybe 10. But yeah, been a very long time for them. And this would be a great win for Luke Fickell as people are starting to doubt his ability to coach a football team. Although I will say, if you're a diehard Wisconsin fan, that I think that the team is going to do fine. When I watched them play LSU for the bowl game, while they did lose, they had a stand-in quarterback and they had some pretty good wide receivers. So I think if you get the team to have decent wide receivers, a good QB, which they do have, that 5-star QB on their roster, he just hasn't played really at all, and then you get a defensive line. That's the one thing that team needs really bad. They don't have that at all. I just don't get how you haven't been able to recruit that at all. I know that they have some kid from Gainesville coming up for next year. Hopefully that goes well. But, yeah, no defensive line presence at all. Team's pretty bad with that. As they're moving their identity from just running the ball to being a more balanced team and trying to throw it maybe 51, 49%, whatever that is. But, yeah. Boise State, number 13 in the country, might lose to San Jose State as they're tied in the third quarter, 21. And then Rutgers is beating Maryland 31-17 with 3 minutes left. And those are all the games that have happened this day. The Penn and Harvard game was very exciting to go to and very fun to watch. Lots of people. Yeah. So... oh my goodness. I think if Wisconsin wins this game, this will be probably the best. Yeah, they really need this win because they're at Nebraska and then they're home against Minnesota. Both winnable games because Nebraska's not that great. Minnesota, are they good anymore? I don't know. Minnesota's weird. They just like kind of exist. Minnesota's lost 4 games already, so that's not great. And they're gonna play against Penn State, and they're going to at UW. So we'll see. Definitely should have won their first game. Losing at home to North Carolina by 2 points is ridiculous. Like you couldn't even get into field goal range at any point. Really? That's what happened. That's what was going on. Oh, Boise State just scored, so now it's 28-21. So yeah. My goodness gracious. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna go do something else. But those are the games that have happened. That's the exciting things that have happened, and hopefully exciting things continue to happen, like Wisconsin beating Oregon and Tennessee beating Georgia, because that would mean Georgia would be out of the playoffs this year. And I would love to see a Georgia fan rage, not because I'm a Florida fan, just because I want to see how that looks.
They snap it with about 4 on the play clock. And on the pitch, room for Jaden Ball inside the 30. Ball inside the 10. Touchdown, Gators!